I wanna marry a man who has money. Mm. I wanna marry a man who is a man of God. Mm. My sister, you're gonna marry responsibility. I'm telling you. You see, these are the things that when we were kids, we used to actually speak. Why? Because we are kids. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11, says, Paul is the one who said it, coined this. He said that when I was a child, I spoke like a child, understood like a child, and reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put away all the childish things. Coming to my point, you see, we don't know what it means to be a man with money. We don't have that definition. We may talk about it, but we don't have that clear definition. What it means to be, to marry a man who is a man of God. You know, when he's a man of God, do you know what he's going to be doing? Do you know what you're asking for? If you talk about a man with money, do you know what you're asking for? Because in the first place, money is not what actually makes marriage happy. Or man of God is not really what makes marriage happy. If you don't know how to define those things, or if you're ignorant about those two things, money can make marriage happy if you actually have a clear understanding of money. Man of God can be a great husband if you actually understand what is the clear definition of a man of God. What are you ready for? It's a responsibility. It's a responsibility. I'm going to tell you this. If you're going to marry a guy who believes and serves God, you won't be the first option. You may find yourself a second option. And the question is, what is my responsibility if I'm going to marry a man who fears God? He may put you as a second option, and you need to understand and come into a position whereby you are able to help him balance that so that he may be able to focus on you. It's tough. It's a tough thing. A guy may be thinking about going to church. A guy, when he makes money, he may be thinking about giving into church. You know, he may be always prioritizing people in church over you. And this is something that you may encounter. You know, after church, he's greeting people. You feel left alone. You don't know how to balance that. And guess what? Before you do anything, he's saying, like, let us first pray about it. Any challenge that you bring to him is going to tell you, let us first pray about it. You know what? That's what he's going to tell you. And you'll be like, about everything that he's in, his reasoning is actually, as a man of God, reasons. That's him. That's what you married. And guess what? Don't call him names. Don't abuse him. Because in the first place, that's what you are seeing, thinking. My advice would be, how can you help the person to balance without actually calling him weird names, expecting him, or actually even making him to love other women in your imaginations, yet he doesn't love any other woman. He actually loves you, but he may not have found a way of how to balance you in the church. If you marry a man who has money, guess what? Do you know how he makes money? Do you know how has he reached where he is? He doesn't sit home. He prioritizes his job. Probably sometimes, yes, over you. That can happen until you really understand whom you want to marry. So it's important to define these two things, because a man who makes money, if he hears any call to break a deal, you're out of equation, because he thinks about the other thing first, money, before he thinks about you. And that's the people that we encounter in our lives. You know, if he thinks about anything, he thinks about money. I'm telling you, you may have bought a house today and the prices for the house go high, probably 50% or 60%. And it tells you, hey, honey, we're going to have to sell this house because when we sell this house, we're going to make 50% of that money. And I'm sure we can rent a little bit. Probably we can buy a house after a certain period of time because he's thinking it's money. And that's the world that we live in. So the question is, what am I marrying? Prepare your mindset. If you're going to marry a person who is in that category, this can be an example for anything that you can put there. It may not be money, it may not be man of God, it may be something else. But you gotta have to prepare yourself and understand and have a clear definition of what does it mean to have money, what does it mean to marry a man who is a man of God. Then that is the only way that will help you to channel yourself with the right strength, right understanding, right power, and ready for the responsibility that comes along with it. Because anything that we choose, we are choosing responsibility. I hope this can help somebody out there who may be weighing in what to do. Remember, Paul said that when I became a man, I put away all the childish things. When you look at that verse, the child speaks first, understands later, and then thinks last. But it's important to first reason, we understand, and then we speak. We all go through this. You're not alone, but we can make a difference when we find out that our thinking wasn't right. God bless you. See you next time. Thank you for tuning in.